Hi everyone, it's Heather Lee, the Frugal Fashionista. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and to my blog and all my social media so you can keep up to date with everything that I'm doing. This video is an ask me type of video. I get asked a lot of questions about fashion and beauty, sometimes by random strangers, and I asked my following, hey guys, what would you like to see in the next video? Ask me some questions. So here are some answers to some of the questions. And before I get started, I wanted to talk a little bit about my Christmas gifts. I've got this really cool shirt. Coco made me do it. This actually came from my mother, and it's a really nice kind of shirt. Got it from Zazzle.com, you know, one of those places that does personalized stuff. And then this really cool gift from my friend Whitney. I don't know if you can see it. Let me get a little closer. It's one of those vinyl pop figurines of Audrey Hepburn. When she was in Breakfast at Tiffany's, and so that was a really cool gift. So nice little gifts for the fashionista in your life. Okay, so let's get started with the questions, and I have a few of them on my phone, and for some reason my phone just decides it's going to keep turning itself off. First question is from Ashton, and it's really interesting because these are questions about lipstick, and it gets stopped by just strangers asking random questions about lipstick, believe it or not. It's become kind of a signature for me. Do I wear, or should you always wear, lip liner? I don't always wear lip liner. I'm wearing some today because the color I'm wearing is, for some reason, it's drying out and it wasn't really working very well, so I have kind of a burgundy liner because I don't have something to match. So my lips are a little ombre today, or at least that's the story I'm telling everybody. Lip liner is really important for a couple of reasons. It helps your lipstick stay longer. It helps it prevent lipstick from feathering, because some formulas tend to get all sloppy around the edges. If you have unproportional lips, or disproportional lips rather, like I do, it helps to make your lips look fuller or more proportional. And then something you may not think about, my lips are a little bit smaller than most people's because I'm smaller than most people. A lot of my liquid lipsticks have these doe foot applicators that are kind of thick, and they tend to smear all over my lips, and so I kind of use a lip liner to help me draw within the lines. But one thing I do with lip liner is I put it on and then I color in my entire lip and then kind of blot it through and use my finger to blend before putting on the color, because it really helps to keep things in place. Now I do have a couple of lip liners that I use. I have a lot of lipsticks, guys. I mean, seriously, I have like 50 something lip products. So I don't buy one for every single thing I have. But these are the L'Oreal Paris Color Riche. These are drugstore brand, and they're anti-feathering. They work really well. And I get the primary colors like red and pink and brown. This is actually a MAC lip liner, which is called Pro Longwear, and it's actually lasts a long time, but it's kind of pricey. For the weird colors I have, like the purples, the oranges, and the blues, and whatever else that I come up with, I use invisible lip liner, which helps it to stay true to color, because oranges tend to become like a pink or coral by the end of the day. It doesn't really help much as far as shaping your lips, but it does help keep everything in place. So the next question that Ashton had was, how do I avoid my lipstick looking cakey? And part of that's the formulation of your lipstick. If it's a matte lipstick and it dries matte, it will tend to look cakey. But the other thing you can do is make sure that your lips are exfoliated, so you can get a little lip exfoliator like this one and exfoliate your lips the night before, and then you can use lip balm or a lip oil and put that on overnight. And just make sure your lips are moisturized, because darker colors, in particular matte colors, will tend to show off if your lips are dry, and so that tends to make it a little cakey. And then the last question Ashton had was, what brands do I recommend that are long lasting? The reason my lipstick lasts so long is because of lip liner, because I prep my lips, make sure they're moisturized, but I also use long lasting lipsticks. So a couple of my favorite brands, this is Julep. This is actually the color I'm wearing right now. I've had it for a while. It's starting to dry out a little bit, but I do have some other colors too. Julep you can find online. You can also find it at Ulta now. This is their Whipped Mousse Matte lipstick, somewhere in that order. Another favorite that I've mentioned in several videos are my MAC lipsticks. These are the matte retro liquid lip color. These are awesome. They're pretty long lasting, especially if you use it with a lip liner. And then a drugstore brand that is my favorite. This is, I have several of these. These are the CoverGirl Outlast lip colors. They're basically a liquid lip color and they dry matte and they're extremely drying, which is why they come with a lip balm. So basically you have a little lip balm that comes with each one. So once it dries, you put it on top and it makes it a little glossy, but it does help to moisturize. Some of the colors, the darker ones, like this one, I can eat 2 or 3 times and it still stay on. I have to remove them with either coconut oil or with a lip oil or some sort of lip oil-based lip balm, because otherwise it just stays on literally to the next morning. So those are some of my long-lasting ones. So another question I had was from Ashley, and she asked, and I love this, how do I wear a waist cinching belt when you're short and curvy without looking like a balloon animal? First of all, I'm going to say 2 things. Take a picture of yourself and look at yourself objectively. You might not actually look like a balloon animal. The other thing I would mention is make sure your belts are the right size, because belts are usually sized for the most part, especially if they have any kind of elasticity to them and they don't, like for example, I got a couple of belts. Like this one is sized and so it doesn't adjust. You just, you know, do like so. And it's a very tight belt. So your belts may be too tight. Now putting a belt at with a tunic or a dress or anything where you want to create a waistline is great for all body types. So what I would suggest is you can either put it around your waist, or if your rib cage is slightly, I don't know if you can see this, yeah. You can use it right under your rib cage, like an unpierced waistline as we call it. And what that does is it gives the appearance of a waistline around your smallest part, which is your rib cage or your waist, depending on where you carry your weight. If a large belt is too much, you can use a small belt, but to create that waistline, I would choose something that is metallic or a contrasting color. And then of course there's always this option, not that one, this one here, which obviously ties. So this is a tie belt and you can drape it loosely if you want. But the idea is to create a waistline. Alyssa had some questions about makeup, so let's go through those fairly quickly. One question she had was, how do I keep my eyeliner wing from disappearing? And what I would mention, because I think she has the same problem I do, which is that my face is oily, and this is the only eyeliner I can use that stays in place. This is the Julep Fluid Eye Glider. This is a brand new one, in fact, because my last one dried out because I'd used it for so long. Basically, use a gel-based or a liquid liner that is waterproof. That's extremely important. So if you find a waterproof liner and just experiment, you can eventually find one that doesn't rub off. She also asked how to make her eyeshadow look good, which I'm not really sure what that means. I'm wondering if you use an eye primer. So you can use something that's a drugstore type like e.l.f., which is what I use. It's like $2. Or if you need something stronger, you can buy the Urban Decay eye primer. I haven't personally used it, but I've heard that it's really good. The other thing is that if your eyeshadow is creasing, again, eye primer helps with that. But you can also use gel eyeshadow, which is what this is. This is the Maybelline 24-Hour Color Tattoo. I actually have on some gel. It's a different brand. But you can find a gel-based eyeliner you just apply with fingers and you go, and some of them don't blend as well as others, but they tend to stay in place for hours. She also asked me about that 5-minute makeup routine, like what mine is, and it really depends on what you feel is important. For me, the face is important because I do have acne and I don't ever go outside without sunblock. So If I just need 5 minutes worth of stuff, this is kind of messy. I'm so sorry. This is the BB cream. This is Rimmel London. I've mentioned it in my favorites. So unlike my foundations, which are heavier, this soaks into the skin pretty quickly. And then I have to powder because I have oily skin, because that is what it is. And then I may add a little bit of gel eyeshadow, a little bit of mascara, and under eye concealer for me. And then I'm ready to go. I always keep lipstick and lip gloss in my purse at all times so I can apply it later. For you, it may be, I don't know, eyes, or maybe you want a little bit of blush if you tend to get kind of washed out looking, or maybe it's eyebrows. So you just kind of have to pick and choose 2 or 3 things you want to emphasize and kind of run with it. But that's my personal routine for my little 5-minute routine. Another thing that she asked had to do with clothes, in particular work clothes. So she asked, how do I keep my work wardrobe from becoming boring? And that is a really good question. A lot of times, if you're trying to save money, you'll spend money on suits or suit separates, and the best thing is to stick with neutrals. And that can get a little blah. So ways to avoid a boring work wardrobe is to find things that have like asymmetrical cuts to them. Find blouses. Blouses are the easiest way. Blouses and dresses that have great patterns. Maybe they have some sequins to them or draping. Something that is visually interesting that you can mix and match with your wardrobe. And accessories are great too. Like for example, I might wear a patterned dress with a dress jacket and these earrings. And it just, honest to goodness, depends on, you know, what you have in your closet and what your workplace allows. But you just kind of mix and match, and that's how you save money, because you can find accessories and blouses for really cheap. And I will leave a link below to a suit style tutorial that I put up recently on my blog, so that way you can get a couple of ideas, and hopefully that is helpful. So I'll leave a link to that in all the products I'm talking about, which, by the way, this is not sponsored. These are all things that I use and have obviously used in the past and purchased with my own money, and I'll leave the links below the description box for your convenience. And then the final question that Alyssa had was about leggings. How can I wear leggings to work and make them look good, and on days I don't want to wear pants? And I feel ya. I understand not wanting to wear pants sometimes. The key to leggings is not to wear them as pants. So in a professional setting, maybe wear a dress that, even if it's a little shorter, you can wear leggings with it and boots. And the leggings help keep the boots in place if they're over the knee boots or knee-high boots. And that looks very acceptable in the workplace. I like to wear them with heels or with some sort of patterned flat. So any kind of dress or super long tunic. The key is this. 1, make sure that the leggings fit. They're not too tight, but they're not too loose. Also, you can find leggings with detailing pattern, maybe little buttons or snaps here and there that help to add to it and make it look chic. But the key is to make sure that you are covered, I would say at least half of your upper leg between your knee and your bottom is covered, and that's how you can wear leggings professionally. You're not showing too much, and then it can be like a pant, but it still looks very chic and very work appropriate. So I hope that these were I hope these answers were very helpful to you, and continue asking me questions. I love answering these sort of things. I do have one question I want to answer, but I'm going to do a separate video because it really deserves its own video. So I have the links below for your internet searching enjoyment, and keep those questions coming. And make sure you subscribe to my channel so you can get all of the latest information. And until next time, happy shopping.